count to one.
Hi, my name is Paige Hann, Theater Studies major, class of 2020.
Now until the break of day, through this house each fairy stray. So shall these dear couples two be ever loving, ever true. With this field do consecrate, every fairy take his gate, and each several chamber bless, through this palace with sweet peace. And the owner of it blessed ever shall in safety rest. Trip away, make no stay. Meet me all by break of day.
Paige, we've just seen a clip from a recent production of yours. Could you tell us a bit more about what we just saw and about the production more generally?
This is a clip. It's the final scene of Midsummer Night's Dream, at least my version of it. And in it you can see Oberon and then Puck. They directly address the audience and they're giving their final speeches closing out the show.
What makes your production of A Midsummer Night's Dream unique?
First and foremost, it's the medium. Virtual reality is relatively new to the theater scene, and so this is a new medium in which to explore this work. Theater is an intrinsically present art form, right? A huge part of the benefit of live theater is that you and the actors are in the same place at the same time, sharing in this experience. Virtual reality is filmed. It's not performed live, so you lose a bit of that. However, because you are able to physically step into the world of the characters along with the scene that's going on, you are also experiencing even just a little bit of that same presentness and that benefit of live theater. If it wasn't for the resources at Yale, I would not have been able to even begin to take on this project, let alone complete it in the way that I have. Particularly, what's been very helpful is the Leeds studio in the CCAM. It's a motion capture studio, so when you enter the space, there's approximately, I believe, 26 cameras that are arranged around the ceiling, and they allow you to, with some software and some other hardware elements, take motion capture data, film motion capture scenes that you can then render into a product like this. So without that Leeds studio, I would not have been able to accomplish this project.
How did you come to theater? Were you interested in it growing up, or is this something that you've come to relatively recently?
I've been involved in theater for as long as I can remember. I started acting at a local community theater when I was 9.
How specifically did you get into theater at Yale? Could you talk about maybe some productions that you've been in or your path to Yale?
I began college actually at community college. I transferred into Yale as a junior, and at both schools, theater was my major. In my community college, I majored in theater and English. Then coming into Yale, I stuck to just theater. So I've done some work on lights crews, I've acted, I've directed, I've written, and most interestingly, I actually have an assistant master electrician credit, which is new to me.
One of the things that we talked about before this interview is your familiarity with sign language and how you studied that both at your community college originally and then here at Yale. And one of the things about sign language is its use of motion to tell a story, which also is something that you're doing heavily in what you've produced. So I'm wondering if you can speak to any skills that you learned developing sign language as a language.
Sign language is a visual form. You communicate entirely through your body and movement. And that's something that we don't realize, but that is also very intrinsically human. Learning sign language and being around signers has just really made me aware of that sort of nonverbal communication and how intrinsic it is to us. And therefore, it's a huge part of this production as well. Is that sort of nonverbal body communication.
And can you speak more generally to the value that theater gives to all of our lives?
The golden age of every society, every culture has been marked with an upswell in the arts and in theater. It's truly foundational to who we are, not only as a species, but in every single culture.